Tango 1 at the top, we are at Pop-Up Vehicle. 10-4, Tango 1, you have control. Tango 1 copy. Stand by. Stand by.
Integrity, passion, resilience. That's what this place was built on. That's what our community is founded on. Don't act like the example, just be the example. This is the home of the greatest fitness community in the world. We're trying to create strong, able bodies, resilient to injury with a gas tank to get shit done. If there's one thing from this podcast, it's about taking immediate action, find the problem, fix the problem. This is your opportunity. It's either a hell yes or a fuck no. It's that simple. You're ruining the Tango 1 podcast. Now is the time to take action. Now's the time to do more and be more.
Yo, welcome to the Tango 1 podcast. This is going to be our first episode in the new digs. What do you think?
I love it. It's so clean cut. It's so legit in here, man. It was such an upgrade. I'm so stoked for you, honestly.
We actually recorded one yesterday, and we got the new gear, and I think we must have hit the mute button or something.
No.
I messed it up. So it was a good one, but it would be better. Actually, this guy would be awesome. Like, you'll love him, man.
I saw him in your video, and I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, there's no way I don't know this loud-ass man. I'm like, who is this guy? I started following right away.
Not a poor decision, my cousin Ben. He's a character, man. You're gonna love him. We'll get him in here when you come back.
All right.
So Mike, like you guys know, this is Mike DiFazio. He is the new co-host of the show. He'll be here most episodes. We can't always probably lock in our schedules, but we'll do our best to do it.
Yeah.
Especially as summer's coming and my baseball season, my season as a professional baseball coach continues.
Yeah. So you got no time. Tony's got no time in the summertime.
Yeah, but man. So you like it?
I love it.
First time in the new gym?
It looks so good. I'm still trying to take it all in because it's such a good step for you guys, man. It's so clean. It's so legit. Crisp lines everywhere, fresh paint. It looks so good. I'm stoked on it.
You're so amped.
Yeah, I am. It's so nice. It's crazy. Even this setup in here is badass.
Yeah, man. Like one of my members, one of my OGs, Dean.
Yeah.
He's here helping me. He's helped me. He's here everything. This place does not open without him.
Nice.
And but his wife Jackie has this she went to college for this kind of stuff. She's got a real nice touch for interior design.
There you go.
And she whipped this up, and I told her, I said, we have no extra money to spend on decorating, right?
Yeah.
All our money's out there. And I said, but anything we can salvage from the old gym comes. And everything you see on the walls, everything was taken from there and installed over here, which is kind of like how you built that thing for me. Me, the nostalgia of it's this was from the studio. This is the logo Pete made. They put it black on black. I think it looks even better.
Way better. Dude, I'm a big fan of black.
We're from behind when all those Zoom calls you've done with me during the coaching stuff.
Yeah.
That was the wall. I pulled it all off, man. I took everything I could.
It's funny because I'm actually the way my mind works, I already know. I know where this coffee table came from. I know where these sheets came from. I know the logo. I know where the black metal came from. The way my mind works, I'm I see these things. It's funny.
I see what you're looking at, though. The only thing we're missing is the coffee table you built because it was made to go in the big ass tire. That big ass tire would touch the wall.
Yeah, it's way too big
where we are. So we got to figure that out.
We got it. I already got an idea, man. I actually might already have the stuff at the shop, so we'll just throw it together.
Perfect.
So yeah.
So I got to ask you though, this right here, is this wood good?
Well, it's a couple 2x10s, so. Not really, but I mean, for what it is, yes, of course.
It's meant to be a bookshelf. It was a shelf, like a protein.
Yeah, it was at the other gym. Yeah.
That's what we're using right now.
Yeah, you like those Is Your Wood Goods?
I love those Is Your Wood Good. And you know what? When people are heard that you're coming on the show more and stuff, they're people have said to me in here, they're I love that Is Your Wood Good thing. They're I'm not even really interested in that stuff, but it gets me watching. And I'm me too. I really don't care what a table's made out of, but the guys got me watching it.
It's so funny, man. So the way that started, that wasn't a plan. That wasn't a plan to start shooting content like that. It wasn't like that. I just do this. Lisa gets to see it firsthand because we're going out to dinner all the time. But
oh yeah, she does get to see the wood's good.
Yeah, she gets to see it. yeah. So I'm going to be out to dinner or whatever, and I'll be underneath the tables checking it out. And I'm looking around, just sitting there, I was just explaining all this. I see how these things work. My mind works that way. So I'm already looking at, like, I knew that was a 2x10 before you asked me what it was. I already know these things because I'm constantly looking at it.
I can see your eyes darting down at it. I'm like, dude, I told you I didn't have a coffee table. You offered to make me one. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll fix you up. We're going to get you something sweet.
It's not even in the shot, Colt said.
Yeah. So you guys don't even know what you're looking at. But yeah, it's something that we did it as a joke at the beginning to just kind of start something, because I was literally at the restaurant table we were sitting at, and I was like, this table's sick. Like, they got this little taper thing on it. Like, I see how they made it. So I'm like explaining it to Lisa. I'm like, Lisa doesn't really care, but like she's listening to what I'm saying. She's like, you have to film this. So I did the first one, and I was like, okay, this actually might work. Like, I could probably do something with this. So that's how that started, because I've been doing it for years, and now I'm showing people what's going through my mind when I'm looking at this stuff, because I'm constantly like, I'm just watching and learning everywhere I go, like when it comes to building things and the way materials are and how things are put together, like interiors and exteriors and materials and stuff. I love it. It's just it's something that's so interesting to me.
I mean, you are, for like lack of a better word, I mean, like, you're an artist, man. Like,
yeah,
like seeing like you were walking around looking at the gym and looking at the art, and that's all done by Pete Bailey, my tattoo guy. Like, you shout out to Pete. I'm gonna have him on. He was on one of my first episodes ever, like right before you probably. And he, like, I gave him a call. I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Like, and Pete, just like my tattoos, I'm like, I have a real broad idea. I said, I want these walls to kind of tell our story.
Love it.
And from there, I just let his big old artist brain go.
Yeah.
And like, he's in here working, it's hilarious. He's like laying on his back, staring at it. He's like up close. I swear to God, like, this place could, like, he was in here by himself, and it's like, I'm working constantly, right? While it's being built. This place could have been Rob Blind when he was in here. You wouldn't know. Like, that's how focused he was, like, staring at things. And like, I think it looks amazing. And then he's like, but we're not even close to done. We're going to put this little bit of white here. We're going to make that look like it's pot. And then like the result, unreal.
Dude, that's the best way. Like, letting the artist do their thing. You're going to get the best product possible when you let the artist or whoever do their thing, right? Like, when someone's like, Mike, take this and do whatever you want with it. And I'm like, done. That's going to be fun for me. I'm going to give it a little extra. You know, same with the tattoo artist. It's like, when I got my arms done, this one was freehand, free drawn on my arm. So just let the art, like, I trust the artist. I know the artist. Do your thing.
Yeah. Right.
I don't want to tell you what, I don't want to give you boundaries. Like go do your thing. Like, give me something that you're going to be stoked about. The product you're going to get 10 times better every time.
Yeah, and you know, we got one of our personal training clients. She's been with us for years out there right now, working with Marcella, and she's the same way. She just trusts us with what we're doing. You know, and like I always say, like, don't get the plumber to do your accounting. Like, let them do your thing. I don't know why people want to tell everybody, like, give us your idea. What's your goals? What's your view here? What's your vision? That's the kind of stuff. And then let the people, no matter who it is and what like industry, let them do their thing. I think that's huge. And Pete, with these walls, which is kind of cool, and you appreciate that. Like, you know, we don't represent the rebel or the anarchist or anything, but in a way we do, I guess, because we, you know, now it's kind of the norm, the stuff that we say, like the mindset. That was from day one, 2014 with us. It was like mind over matter. The mind is primary. You know, drag your dead body. Your brain can drag your dead body. You know, like, that's how we've been training people since day one. Now it's everywhere. If I would have started pumping that stuff out, I'd have a bazillion followers. You know, but it doesn't, like, that's not my point. My point is, like, that's always been us. And Pete somehow took that, and all of these little, like, essentially that far wall you're looking at, that's all like posters.
Yeah.
And
it looks like a poster.
And they're like made to be like the Russian Revolution, like, you know, like the standing up, like those propaganda posters from way that way before our time. But like, that was his inspiration behind it, and I fucking love it. You know, like,
looked like, see, you saying that and looking at it, it's like, that's what it was.
We stood up in this community. We made like tons of money for cancer. We stood up for the community when a little boy needed some help. You know, we stood up to fucking COVID and everything that tried to split us apart. We stood together. People who were fucking vaccinated, unvaccinated. Like, I think that Pete really brought that on the wall. I'm so fucking jacked and jazzed about this. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, that's sick, man. I just love the passion that's been poured into this place. Even when you're just talking about it, like explaining all the little details, there's more that goes into it than just the paint on the wall.
Yeah, and I think that's why Back to Your Wood is good. The joke we made at the start is like, I think that's why those are so killer. Why people like me who are like really like are not. I just want my wood to look nice.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like I'm watching these videos because like and like, I've always said that to you from day one. Like even when you do those stupid spinning around in your chair, and like it like makes me smile. Like and I didn't even know you. That's why I was like, I gotta get this guy around here more often, around me more often. It's awesome. So I feel like that, and you know, for me lately on social media, you made a comment on my thing like this content's rad, or like whatever you said the other day, and I'm like, finally, I used to posting on my personal one, posting on the gym one for me is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Posting on the personal one of me has always just been kind of like, why am I doing? I'm always like question, why am I even doing this? Like, why do I even care? And now all of a sudden it just like hit me, and now I'm just posting stuff that I'm putting out there in my thoughts, and I actually love it. Like, there's no sale, there's actually no end goal here other than to like do what we do here and make a positive impact and maybe make somebody smile or laugh or think about something or question something. That's all I'm doing.
So like, that's been my whole thing right now. The Is Your Wood Good is not my shop. The other stuff I'm doing, I got some other stuff coming out that you guys are gonna be seeing soon too. It's not my shop, it's me. The content you're posting right now is you, right? Like it's the guy that's not running the gym who owns the gym, right? Like you lead the gym, but you're still a man. I am the woodworking guy, but I'm still a dude. Like it's your personal brand carries way more weight than I think we give it credit for, because what you're doing right now is building your personal brand. So am I. That's actually my main focus this year. My main focus is for me to pull away from me being the face of my entire company, because my company will get capped. If it's not already capped, plateaued, whatever you want to say, it will be soon, because I am everything in that shop. Like there's people that still meet me now and be like, oh, you're not a one-man show? And it's like, how would we ever be a one-man show with the amount of work that we're getting done? So I'm trying to take myself out of the position of it looking like a one-man show, because I'm the guy on the camera. So I'm trying right now to set myself up as the shop is the shop. There's a team in the shop, but Michael DiFazio is over here. Because the reality is like you are the business, but the business exists on its own, but you are still the business. People are going to come to Garage Gym because they know you, but they also know you because of the stuff that you post. They know you because of the things you made them think. Not because of the gym, the exercises, the workouts, the stuff that you're posting in the gym. That's awesome. That needs to carry its own weight, and it totally does. But Tony as a man, what he is posting is getting people to follow Tony. And when people follow Tony, they see Garage Gym. So like it's this one big, like almost like a figure eight. Like you gotta come back around. Like you are feeding Garage Gym from outside of the gym. And that's what I'm doing now. Like this is what I'm focusing on right now. And because I always struggled with this, because like I am the brand of my company, but I didn't want to be. And now that I'm posting more on my personal side, I'm actually getting leads and getting work. I'm having different conversations with people I never spoke with before about work. So it's coming back full circle now by doing Is Your Wood Good videos, right? Like this is not, check out this amazing dining room table we built from scratch for Cindy who needed it. Like that's one thing, that's the shop. But now people are talking to me because I'm, explaining how garbage this table was at a resort, that the table wasn't even screwed to the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? For me, it's not even about the separation or anything. I just felt like before I was posting and I hope, I'm not going to be like against any of that if it brings more business into my life and it brings more people into this gym and maybe more people into like blast camps, which I hope are going to be back on the menu this year.
Me too, I hope so.
That kind of stuff. Like that's the plan. Like obviously I love that. And for me, I was like posting before like it was my job. Now I'm actually posting and fucking loving it. Like I'm excited to put the content out.
Yeah.
And what part of that is like the likes are great, and like I cannot believe, you can see in the back end, you can see your interaction. I can't believe how much my interactions have gone up, my engagement, my reach. But also now I'm getting comments. I'm getting into like, now I feel like I am making a difference instead of just talking to a blind. It's like Zoom. I did so many speaking gigs during Zoom, right? And when the screens were off, it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And when you're putting out content like that and there's no comments, it feels like Zoom with the screen off.
Oh,
when
damn.
you're doing speaking and at Zoom, like everybody's got their cameras on, and whether they're speaking, like Zoom wasn't the best for like interacting. but like, you could see their faces, you could see their engagement, and that's what I feel like is happening now, and it's kind of like rejuvenated me for like to the point where like my son Colt and we got this GoPro, and like and he's like the tech guy, he loves this stuff, so he's making some content, he's coming up with ideas, he's here helping run the camera for us today, and like for me, like us in the homeschool kind of theory is like, son, that's a high income skill that I don't have. So one, can you help the family business? Of course. Can you do some things that are going to be fun for you? He's learning how to edit video. He's going to do something from our vacation just for us.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Could that lead to like, he loves sports. Could that lead to him filming the football games? Could that lead to him going to work for Mike DiFazio one day? And the best part of that skill is it's learned here, man. It's learned on the job, not from me, but from other people, like, and then can be done anywhere.
Yeah.
You can send content to, he could be living in Costa Rica for a month and do his job. Like, that's what I hope he has, that freedom. And, we'll see where homeschool and then his life in school goes. But when I saw him pick up that kind of fire, I'm like, yeah, order the GoPro now.
Right.
And he's learned how to use it better than me.
That's the best. I love that.
He's in here testing it and moving your chair around and stuff.
Yeah, I got to get the right angle. Like, all right, let's set it up. He's in charge.
Ready to go. Yeah.
I love it, man. No, it's super cool because he's going to be learning something now that he's going to be able to use for the rest of his life, even if he doesn't get into that. Like, he will always be able, like, look, you and I right now, you own a gym, I own a furniture company. We both need to know how to use the camera, know how to upload the videos, how to edit it, how to like do all of these things. That's a skill that he'll be able to take on for the rest of his life and apply it to everything that he does.
Yeah,
super amazing.
I'm not forcing it. That's the big thing. I got a couple of guys who weren't the best in school, who were doing okay in life. And why are we doing okay in life? Because we found something we loved and we're passionate about it. Yeah, it wasn't force fed. Why were we not good in school? Well, a lot of that was force fed on us, right? Like, and I'm not blaming anybody. It just wasn't my thing, right? It wasn't your thing. So when you see a kid, and you were that guy growing up, and you see a kid show some love for something that's like, not video games, and sports are easy to love for me, and music and skateboard is easy to love for you. Yeah. Right? Those are the easy things, the obvious things, right? But like when you see him pick up a skill that he loves, that like when you're like, as a dad and as a parent and as a business person, you're like, oh man, that's gonna be good. Like look at our guy Eric Visuals there, who's coming here tomorrow. The guy does great, he does killer. Look at Axel Films, man, they do great. Like, there's a lot of people doing great work. Yeah. You could just go on and on with that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so when you were like, I was talking earlier with some people, and like one of the huge things important to me was I had both my sons working in here with me to build this gym, because, in particular my oldest, because he's older, right? Mm-hmm. Sure. And capable of doing a little bit more things, and like packing his lunchbox and in here for 12, 14 hours working with me nonstop.
No, packing the lunch and everything.
And I love it. Like, you're playing travel baseball. We just went on vacation. Like, you need to learn, like, it's not just me standing here and slapping five with people, or like going and to the events that we run and like having a great time. Like, this is the shit you got to do to build. Like, you and I talk about a million times, manifestation, an overused word, because we always ignore that. What's not to talk about is the work between where you are and the manifestation and all this. And I want him to see that. Did you have that, like, was that part of what you, with your backstory in the whole what is good that's become that, that's not the what is good, but I'm saying your whole business?
Not really, no.
Like, what lit you up like that? Like, what was it that introduced you to my son and the GoPro? Like, what introduced you to, like, hey, I love this carpentry, I love building shit?
I just, like, man, I was thinking about this the other day because I had to write out my story for a course that I'm a part of right now. I had to write like a story, and I've never actually written out my story before. So I'm like, okay,
in crayon.
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta teach you.
Yeah, crayon. This is Mike. But it's funny. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go on ChatGPT and like, explain this thing about Mike. Write some prompt in there. Garbage came out. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to actually do this. So I'm sitting down. And I'm like, okay, this shouldn't take too long. Start writing out my story. And dude, I wrote like 4 pages of my story. And I'm like, damn, this whole thing for me started when I was in grade 8. Like, I used to literally ride my BMX around, find other bikes that were like either stolen, thrown in ditches, left on the side of the road. I would take them to my mom's house and like, I'd be sitting there trying to make stuff like, putting a crank from this bike on that bike and changing the wheels and stuff, like knowing nothing. I was like 10 years old, you know what I mean? I was always tinkering with garbage specifically for some reason, which is just kind of hilarious. Like, I've been working with garbage my entire life, which is weird. But I just always was so active with my hands. And in high school, I started making reptile tanks, selling them on Kijiji, and then I got into building stuff out of garbage and selling them like door to door, essentially, when I needed to afford to go on tour with my band. So like it kind of just fell into my lap, and I just like stories. I like the patina. I like the patina on this coffee table thing. Like I like the story that things tell, and I think that's what did it for me. But it was always a way. Like when this thing first started for me, it was just a way to pay for band, to go on tour with my band. Like that's all that this was about. Like I didn't care about anything back then. When I was 20 to 22 years old, the only thing that mattered to me in my entire life was my band.
How funny is that? Like you and I sitting here, you're 20, 22, you're going around in like a fucking beat up band.
Little pickup. Oh, like in the tour van? Yeah. Tour van was.
They're like playing in a punk rock band, right? And skateboarding all over the place.
Absolutely.
And I was at that age a cop who was probably like driving around like goddamn punk rockers.
Yeah,
right?
100%. It's like you passing me and like
yeah.
I'm like we're like
if I was on like a 10-year rewind and passing you or whatever the hell, you're so young for me. But yes. But yeah, like the analogy there is hilarious.
So funny, dude.
Hilarious, man.
It's so funny.
Both turned out to be. I think we're both doing okay. Like,
for sure.
A long way to go. Like it's not something like started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
Like I didn't start from the fucking bottom. That's my fucking. Shut up! All the people with the haters and starting from the bottom. And you know what else? I'm not there. I didn't start from the bottom, and I'm still not there. So fuck, everybody to each their own and on your journey. But like, I think there's too much focus on like the haters or like what you didn't have growing up. Like, you know what? Like, what did you have growing up? You had some parents who loved you.
Yeah, loving parents.
Not everybody has that. So like, it wasn't given to me by any means, but like at the same time, man, like,
it's funny because I often thought about that. Like, I have had a pretty good upbringing, but if I had to sit here and try to make my story seem so much more intense and like destroy my childhood, saying that it was so bad, so hard, we didn't have much growing up, like that's disrespectful as hell to my parents. Let's be honest. Like they love me like to death. You know what I mean? They still do. I had them growing up. Like I had a lot. And it's based on your perspective, because if you want to sit there and say my life was garbage growing up, that I don't know. I feel like you're devaluing a lot of the stuff that you did have, even if you did have a terrible upbringing. I guarantee there was a couple good times in there, a couple good teachers, a couple good people who at least touched your soul at some point to move you into a direction that would have changed your perspective on everything. But if you want to sit there and focus on this garbage, my life was so bad for 25 years straight. I did nothing. I had no house to live in. I had no food to eat. I had no clothes to wear. Like, I guarantee you had those things. Why are you bitching? People just want to bitch to make this story seem super cool, man.
Come on, you know what? Go jump in one of these cruisers. Go do a ride on with one of my friends, and we'll show you some people that started at the bottom.
Yeah.
They're at the bottom, and in life and barely scraping by. And like, this thought came to me. I'm like working in here, and I'm looking like, none of this, not my house, not my family, not my 3 businesses, not this most beautiful business I've ever built. This is the nicest thing I've ever built. And
it's really nice.
None of it was inspired by haters, by, being, like, thinking low of myself, trying to prove something wrong. Everything here was inspired by, like, my passion to do this, the people that I serve, whether that be my members, my family, the community of Amherstburg, and mostly myself.
True.
Like, out of, like, self-respect. That's the motivation. And everybody's motivation to do everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you could make that, like, I'm not trying to prove anybody fucking wrong. I could care less. There's lots of people who thought I was stupid to leave the police department. There's lots of people who thought, like, who probably think that it's dumb that you post up on social media. There's lots of people who think, like, why are you putting your views out there? Could care. I honestly could care less. Like, there's that, like, don't give a fuck thing that everybody, like, seems to pride themselves on. And I actually do give a fuck.
Right, you should. I think
care
you should.
so much.
I think it's like unhealthy to not care. Actually.
I really don't care about some things.
So I've always had. I mean, so like going back to my point, saying like I had an amazing upbringing. Like I didn't have an amazing upbringing. Honestly, I had some very hard things to go through. Like I have some parts of my past that were a little troublesome, right? And I gotta acknowledge them. I'm not gonna say my past was garbage growing up, but growing up and going through those hard things, I came up with this thing in my mind years ago, probably when I was like 18 years old, maybe even earlier, called care freedom. You are carefree. You're care freedom. You have reached care freedom. And care freedom, because I've always felt this point, like I care so much, I don't care anymore about you. About your opinion of me, sorry. I care so much about the people I serve and my team and my family and my friends.
That's a great way to put it.
Everybody else,
Great way to put it.
you couldn't even touch me. You can't touch me. I'm literally at such a high frequency with so much love. Good luck. So it's care freedom. Like I care so much that you can't touch me anymore. And that's care freedom.
That's unreal. Look
That's-
at you, Joe.
That's been a thing that
My boy's growing up, bro.
Right?
Like, I mean, dude, like how far you've come as a person, I think, like from the guy who had his arms crossed at the campfire and blast and was very reluctant to like show any kind of love or any kind of emotion to how you are now is like, I mean, just says your growth. And like that comes like with self-work you've done, that comes with maturity, like experience in life, like, you know, like it's awesome to see, like, and that's, I think that's why you're doing it, and that's why this thing's gonna kill it together, like, and you know what? If 10 people watch this, or if 200 watch this, or 2 million, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Like we're having a good conversation.
You know, obviously, we want 2 million people to watch it, but if one person sees this thing and sends us a message and said, like, you know what? I love what Mike said there. That really inspired me. And that's what, like, when I get that one comment, which and it's like fire.
I know, dude.
Yeah, I helped you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I helped.
it's like going back to your comment thing. Like the likes are one thing, but the comments are it's an entire world. It's like I can actually help you now, or like if someone just like because you get comments that are like, oh, great job, cool, this is awesome. Like I mean, for what we do, anyways, you get a lot of comments like that. But I want the deep stuff. Like I want the good. Like how can I help you? Yeah. Or like. How or like, do you have any tips for me? Like, let's get in there in the comments. I want to talk. I want to like expand on these thoughts. Like, I want to know. Yeah,
absolutely. Somebody on my comments the other day, speaking of comments, somebody said, I put up something about the world that said, "Fuck being average." Right? Fuck being average, man. Fuck being an average man.
Yeah.
You know, and respect and whatever else, right? And make an impact. And somebody put like, okay, define average. Like honestly, for me, an average man is a person who cannot walk up the stairs without being winded. A person who does nothing but serve himself, you know, like goes day to day. You know, that is the average person around in our today's society. The average man. I don't care. And man, you guys can take what you want. I'm talking about men. That's what I am. And that's what I want to talk about. And that's what I think I'm capable of. 45 years of being one. I feel like I can put some input and be unfair to any woman. So if you think I'm being misogynistic or whatever, or like, you know, gender biased, I don't care. I don't care because it's not for me to say. Like Danny can say that, Marcel out there, Trish out there, they can say what's for a woman, right? That's not my job.
Yeah.
Nor is it for them to say what a man should be. They can say what they would love a man. They can say what they hate a man. I can say that about women, but like that. So like, if that offends anybody, like being average, I want nothing to do with being average.
100%. You're doing nothing.
Zero.
It's funny. So we had a charcuterie board workshop the other day, and there was someone who stayed back with Lisa and I, and we started a conversation somewhere along those lines, and it got really deep really quick. We ended up staying for 2 hours talking about male, female, gender equality, average man, weak men, strong men, and this particular individual that I really think you should meet, and I really think we should have a conversation on here because I think we're going to do it like 100%. I already told her we were. So we had this crazy conversation, and it was about like women's roles and whatnot and how the world has changed. And I'm like, and you know how I feel. Like I am pro man being more. Like we have very strong women now. Like these women are strong physically, they're mentally strong, they're emotionally strong. Like, these women are independent.
These two women out here right now are the strongest people.
They'll kick my ass, both of them.
They like mentally as well. Like, exactly what you're saying. It's like, I feel like everything we say in the world, it's like, and this is like how I say to my sons, like, because I'm saying a man should be strong, I am not saying a woman should not be.
Right.
And like I say to my sons, like you'll say to one, hey, great job on that, or you look great today, or you're so smart. And the other one will be like right away, like, well, I did this. It's like, hey, just because I said your brother was smart, I didn't say that you were
dumb. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I think that's where everybody goes with this stuff. It's like,
it gets a little,
right away. Like,
it gets a little intense. So I want to talk about a little bit about this because it was so, it's so very much you and I with the way that we think and feel about things. And the whole thing is like, we have women that are becoming very powerful, whether you want to keep them tied down or whatever you want to do, right? Like, I'm not about that. I am like, I'm with Lisa, you're with Danny, right? Like, Danny's a powerful woman, Lisa's a powerful woman. Like, we have powerful women, and that's amazing. And I think we need more of that. The issue is with a lot of these other women that are becoming powerful is that the men that they're with cannot provide or protect a powerful woman. Like, if a woman is up here, way up here, that man has to be that much further above to be able to provide her with a platform, to be able to be that strong, independent woman. She needs to be able to feel safe. Like, we need to be able to provide that. That doesn't mean that they need to become less, because this whole conversation, this whole argument that we were having, it was not argument at all. It's going to be an amazing, wait till we have this conversation.
Well, and I think like what you're trying to say before somebody takes that and runs with it, the trolls, is like, you're not saying more than that person.
No,
you're
you
not
become
saying,
more of a man.
You're saying more, like, it's not like Danny's so powerful, I need to be more powerful than her. I just need to be a more powerful me.
Yes, you need to become a better man
to
be able to rise. Because
that's where somebody takes a little snippet of something, which they might on this one, and
don't do that.
Go with it. Like, but it's not at all what you're saying.
No,
you're
it's
saying,
not what
like,
I'm saying.
Hey, bro, you need to be better.
Yeah, because I think
and your wife, the stronger she's, the stronger you can be. Like,
it's amazing. Like working with Lisa specifically, it's like, if I and being with Lisa, I've had to become so much more of a man myself, because she's running at a faster pace. She was running at a faster pace than me. I'm sprinting. Like, you know what I mean? If I
got longer legs than you.
Yeah, fair. It's something like, I need to become more of a man myself to be able to be level with Lisa, because she's moving at such a fast pace. Like, I'm going to get left in the dust if I'm not working on myself 10 times, being more than average, because being the average guy, you're never going to get, like, be with someone like Lisa or Danny or like anyone that's moving fast like this. Like, men need to become better. We need to become more understanding. We need to become stronger mentally, everything, because we need to be able to be like arm in arm with powerful women.
Yeah, man. Our 7 o'clock class is about to roll in here. They're it's like one of the strongest groups we have.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it's all women. And why? Because they want to get better. And I feel like our gender, the average man has no fucking interest in doing
No, they're playing video games. And I'm like, get off the damn couch.
Like, hey, like, there's going to be 10 strong women and probably 3 dudes in here. And you know what? And good on those guys, but like, man, we got to catch up. Like, you just said, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Lisa's running away, and when you met her, and you could just see her growing, and what was going to happen to that relationship.
It's gonna snap,
right? She's gonna get frustrated. You're gonna feel whatever that might be, but like, it's not about better than each other. It's about better for yourself, which makes you better for everyone.
Yeah, because
like everybody. Well, and that's like, it's nothing even to do with man-woman relations. That's everybody and everything. If I'm better for me, I'm gonna be better for my mom. I'm gonna be better for my
100%.
You know, whether you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever that is, being better for yourself will never hurt.
No. And
stronger is not worse.
Right. Like, and one of the things during this conversation was just like, do more and be more. The stuff that you taught me at Blast. Like, I have it on my water bottle. Like, it says, do more and be more. Like, it's not do more, be more for me. It's do more, be more for Lise, for my mom, for everybody. We need to become more of a providing person.
Like, do more, be more is the small part of that. And I feel like people maybe read that and realize it wrong. Do more, be more. It's when you put that in a full sentence. Like, the full sentences would not be as catchy.
Yeah.
Podcast, but it is do more for others and be more for yourself. that's what it is. And I just feel like everybody in the world did a little bit of that, swept their own doorstep instead of worrying about everybody else's. It would be a lot cleaner, right? Isn't that the Mother Teresa, I think it says that?
No idea.
You know, if everybody worried about sweeping their own doorstep, the world would be very clean.
Huh.
Right? Instead of worrying about your neighbors and everybody
Yeah.
else. And then taking little things and like a little snippet of something and trying to ruin somebody's life with it by saying like, he's this or he's that, when like, you know, listen to the whole conversation, listen to the whole point before you just shut it up because something set you off when you said that comment. You need to be like, that just makes me, I have to be better. But not better than Lisa.
It's not better than Lisa. It's better than my version right now.
Ask a clarifying question. Go further in those conversations.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's with on, you know, you and I were talking all this whole time about social media and how we're doing it, but also like I wish there was a lot more of this conversations because like you can't have them there. They have to be done in person because like they all get taken out of context and it's like that's not what I meant because there's no like facial, there's no. You know, there's no there's no human behind that, and like, I feel like that's where a lot of these things get so blown out of proportion, so taken out of context, so misunderstood. Yeah. And at the end of the day, man, like even if I totally disagreed with everything you said, that's okay. Right. Like, and that's okay. And like I can either continue our friendship or relationship or whatever level that is, or I can say like, you know, great, it's nice to meet you. You know what? That dude's not for me. True. See you later. And I no longer have a co-host, and I'm searching to see if I can get Casey back down here.
So it's funny because like that conversation I was having with this person, it was very much that. Like totally different viewpoints, totally different thought processes, how they viewed the world, different perception. The conversation was amazing. Like, and I really felt like I wanted to be there. And we weren't arguing, we weren't even disagreeing. What I find is like a lot of the points that we're both stating are one and the same. Yeah. Like together we will be able to make huge changes. Like there's no reason to be better than someone else. When I'm talking about being better, I mean being better version of myself to be able to provide more for everybody else.
Yeah, well, I told you about the dynamic shift like I'm doing with the consulting. Like basically independent contracting with somebody else. And Sean, who's one of your favorite podcasts, right, Sean?
Yeah.
And from the first podcast, he was on the second time announcing this thing he created, Unit. And the other woman that he hired, she's been on the podcast too. We are so opposite.
Yeah.
But the dynamic between us is awesome.
Great conversation.
I love it. And she makes me better, and I'm gonna make her better, and then she's gonna make me better. It's just gonna keep going, and we're gonna probably butt heads a lot. But it's like
that's okay.
Like, I love it.
It's okay.
If you're just around people that are just gonna agree,
right,
or not have an opinion,
that's
or like
a dangerous place to be.
Right, not everything has to be a fight. Not everything has to be an argument or a huge discussion about everything. Sometimes it's like, hey, I just like my coffee black.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't have to get into like the benefits of it or like just like it that way. It's okay. Like you're not, right? So yeah, man, this has been a good episode, a great conversation. We still have a glass window on the office, so in 10 minutes we won't be able to hear ourselves talk. So this thing was sponsored by, get over here, Colt. Get over here. This thing has been sponsored by the Boxer and the Barber, which is my cousin's men's grooming. Speaking of men's stuff, this is my men's grooming products. And I brought you one, and we're going to try to get some for any guest we get on here. So some of the best stuff.
Love it.
Love this stuff. He's Windsor, born and raised. Actually, he's on the wall at the boxing club across the street from you.
Nice, really?
Yeah. What's the name? Why can I not remember it? It's like
Border City Boxing?
Border City, yeah. The legendary boxing place. He's on the wall there. He's a former Gold Gloves guy.
No way. That's
amazing. About this company, and it's awesome, man. I think this stuff is the best. That's probably the best one for you. The lightweight, I'd go medium weight for me.
Yeah.
More of a slick look. Though today, this is the lightweight today, though, because my hair was wet.
Yeah.
So let me know how you think.
Nice, man.
We'll keep pumping that stuff out there.
I love that. Thanks, bro.
All right, man. That's it for this episode. Over and out. Looking forward to some great episodes. We get this person that he's talking about on here. We have some great talks, some great conversations, and keep killing it, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Over and out.
Now's the time to do more and be more.